Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Got a new video for y'all today. And we're going to be talking about the Dead Space remake, because with it coming over the horizon, I think it's time that we discuss why I'm excited about the game's release. But before we get into that, if you enjoy the video, why don't you consider subscribing? It helps me grow the channel and grow the community that we're building currently. And also, like the video and hit the notification bell, see when I upload next. And thank you guys for watching, checking out the video. Really helps me keep going. But let's get into it. So, the game is releasing on the 27th of January, so here in a couple weeks, and it looks downright beautiful. The characters' facial expressions and the detail of the structure of their faces are amazing. It's one of the great things about next gen gaming. Facial structures and just the pores, the detail, the eye color, the hair follicles. It's very detail beauty that we've been able to see with this next gen. We kind of saw it with the PlayStation 4 / Xbox One era, but we're really being able to see it now, especially with the release of the Unreal Engine and the new Frostbite engine that are really defining how beautiful gaming can be. You know, before we had the beautiful detailed maps, but now we're finally getting the great facial detail and character detail. So I'm also excited to see with this new detail-oriented scale how the characters will react when gameplay gets more intense as the story continues, because you'll be able to see that fear, anger, anguish when they lose somebody on the Ishimura, or when they see something they can't forget. It will also, how they're reacting will also keep the fear factor high, as in the original, of course, with it being a 2009 game, you did feel fear, but I feel like now with the detail, you'll see the fear in their eyes and the fear on their faces, and it'll make you nervous because it's like, well, these characters are as nervous, so maybe I should be nervous. One of the biggest details about this is that the game is also given Isaac dialogue, which wasn't in the original 2009 release. He was a silent protagonist, and I mean that was a popular trend back in 2009, 2010, even 2011. But with Isaac's new dialogue, it adds a layer to the game that I truly didn't think was 100% needed. I was really worried they were gonna do something wrong with it. But you know, because you run the risk of messing with a game's main character in the story beat of the original story that you're trying to remake in this new remaster. And but you know, the remake's dialogue between Isaac and all the characters just feels natural. It never feels like it's awkwardly placed just to have it, like a new mechanic for you to get more immersed. It really does feel like it it should have been there all along, and it melds perfectly. And it also adds more detail to the game when it comes to Isaac's character growth. I mean, of course, you had the journals and stuff he wrote in the game, but this really truly gives everybody a way to see the character grow. I'm also excited with this dialogue option to see how Isaac will react to major parts of the later portions in the game due to him having dialogue, of course. Also, Brownie points to the creators of this remake. They have also brought back the original voice actor for Isaac from Dead Space 2 and 3. So that, I mean, that's awesome. It's good to have that connectivity. So when players who are maybe first time playing this game with the remake, they're able to jump into 2 and 3 as their great games as well. And it really connects the series to have his voice actor. And that's something that a lot of games throw away, and that really hurts. Resident Evil 2 Remake is a great situation where, due to how old Resident Evil 2 was, they really were able to capture Leon with a different voice actor while sounding similar. So it's good that they kept him though, doing because of the game being a very recent release. The detail of the necromorphs is just beautiful. When they appear, you can see their bones, their loose skin and muscles from the crazy degradation of their body because it's just been destroyed by this strange virus and created them into these monsters. But the game with this revives the best mechanic that Dead Space is known for, and that is shooting the limbs off to finish them and kill them. The detail of the grime and broken bones and their disturbing body shape is just greatly detailed to when you see them, you're just as horrified as you see the grime, the bloody nature that they've become these creatures through whatever is causing this. You're just terrified. You're scared because you don't know what happened and how they could have been hurt. but you know, you to protect yourself, you have to end them. But they were people; they were a part of the crew. It's crazy, and it's such a great addition of detail. Like I said in the original point I started with, for this game to be great. I'm also excited to see how they treat other enemy types that we'll see in the game, with the detail they have with the early game necromorphs. The game also has made the transition from the two different ways to shoot the plasma cutter. It's way better. It's more fluid. The original wasn't terrible, but it was clunky because, I mean, it was a 2009 game. You kind of had clunkiness was part of it. It's kind of fun about games, Skyrim, but this game has made it more fluid and the transitions a lot easier, so you can switch back and forth and continue that fluid gameplay and shooting mechanics that are great in the game. The game has introduced a mechanic with an original part of the original 2009 release, and that is when you have these circuit box areas to put power in certain doors. You would just take this circuit box from the wall and put it into another plug-in, basically. But in this, they've made it to where you have to choose what to sacrifice to power up doors or anything else you might. And that could be lights. That could even be locking other doors. And with that, it adds the scare factor. Because now if you've selected to turn off the lights, for example, you're in the darkness. All you have is your little flashlight. And it seems in trailers and stuff, they've really decided we'll spawn enemies too. So it adds this kind of like nervousness and this anxiety that you have to get through, but you're terrified. Now, this game has also added a mechanic that encourages backtracking like other survival horror games encourage, such as popular titles like Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and that's to gain additional loot to help you survive on the Ishimura. The Ishimura is the ship in the game. These rooms require certain clearance that you will get as you continue in the game's story. But like Resident Evil, once you obtain a key, you better backtrack because it's most likely that they will greatly help you in the long run with the supplies you find. The game looks like it is honoring the story of the 3 games as well by including a plot line that introduces the Church of the Unitology way earlier than it does in the original. Also, it's said through dialogue with, of course, the new introduction of Isaac. It's not something that you kind of pick up with signs or read, which could help introduce them better. Also, it just connects the games, and also the way it's discovered is very personal to Isaac, and it's great to see them improve that aspect of the game because it creates a more connected experience overall. Because now you can go into Dead Space 2 knowing 100% who these people are, because as Dead Space 2, if you've played it, it's very closely unified with that. That's part of the big overall plot, which is awesome. And another thing, which is something that the original game, of course, because it was a 2009 game, couldn't do, but this ship can be explored at loading screens. You do not have to use the tram system to go to every level like you did in the original. While that was very innovative for its time, because you could explore big areas, but then you'd have to go to your loading screen. This game, you actually explore the whole ship. It really unites the whole ship. Like it feels like a real ship that you can backtrack in, and you can go into a door and not know what's on the other side and not have to wait for loading. It's very cool to see. Games have been doing that now for a couple years, but it's really cool to see this remake of a game that was ahead of its time, that very well stopped though due to loading screens. It's very cool to see that they've advanced that. So yeah, they've also kept visual recordings as augmented reality sections of what happened in certain areas, but a lot of these augmented reality are actually audio recordings of characters on the Ishimura that you learn about, but now they're not just these video recordings that pop up on your HUD. It's now actual like projected augmented reality like recordings that are in the area where that could have happened, which is a very cool addition. It'll be very fun to see. That really expands the world. Also, the developers have said that there are side quests within some of the notes you find, which is really cool. I feel like that gives you like we're not going to hold your hand. You have to find these yourself to learn more about the Ishimura, which is about brownie points for me. I love when games do that. Also, the offices and rooms of the crew are detailed and show who they were as a person and what they could have become due to the hell that has become on this ship. The game also, like I had said, has kept audio logs you can pick up and listen as they detail what more people were like on the ship day to day. This game also has utilized the ability to add bloody signs or bloody warnings that are readable due to having better graphic fidelity than what the original could do in 2009. which again just adds to the realism that this place fell apart and people literally wrote messages in blood because that's all they had to write to warn others that this place is horrible. And I mean, you guys know I'm a big person I'm big on environmental storytelling. It's one of my favorite parts of video games, and I think it's something that more games need to utilize because it just makes it feel a whole. It's one thing to have the character talk about it with dialogue, but it's also another to have the character actually see it and react to it, which is what makes environmental storytelling great. Like the fact that there are going to be signs in blood that tell you, hey, do not do this, or there are pictures of the crew showing when they were better people who you just shot and killed because they were this brutal monster that has been literally dismembered into something else. It's a very cool addition, and I can't wait to see it in action. This game is going to be great. I mean, I truly think that Callisto, sadly enough, wasn't what we wanted. It's a good game, but it wasn't what we had thought it was going to be, which is okay. But I feel like Dead Space Remake is the full course meal, while Callisto was the appetizer. I really think we're going to get a lot out of this game, especially with them adding new features that take from other great survival horror franchises like the backtracking from Resident Evil or other games. It's going to be very cool to see. Also, it'll be very interesting to play the entire game and have Isaac as a voice actor, or have a voice now. So there's certain parts in the game, if you played the original, where you're like, oh my god. But now you'll have his reaction, so you know kind of how he truly felt, like you do in Dead Space 2 and 3. It's going to be a very cool addition. And apparently the papers in this game are going to be readable due to just better graphic fidelity, so that'll be very fun to be able to try to read the fine print of things. It may add more to the world just in terms of environmental storytelling. And you know, when this game comes out in January this month, it's going to be an exciting time. I can't wait for this game to come out. It'll be the first game I think I'm covering on the channel, so it'll be the first 2023 game. I will be covering it that week. It'll probably take me a couple days to beat. I'll have the review out as fast as I can. Content won't stop, but I will have it out as soon, and then I'll probably do a full-length discussion about it where I'll talk about the entire game in whole, in case you guys want more details. I think it's time I start doing that, not just doing non-spoiler reviews. I think having those full discussions really include you guys, and again, as I encourage you guys in every video, like I will this one, I encourage you to comment on those videos. I'd love to discuss game stories and why you thought they were great, why you thought they were bad, or why you didn't agree with some parts, or why you agreed with more parts than you thought. I love this discussion. So please, guys, again, remember, I love your comments. Please describe how you felt about the game. Also, in this video, describe if you're excited for the game, why you're not, why you're worried. Please tell me, because I have doubts too, because at the end of the day, it's EA. But please, you know, let's get those in the comments, and we can discuss those freely and have great discussions. And if you've made it this far in the video, thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch me ramble about a game I'm really excited for. I hope you're excited for the game too, of course. But if you enjoyed the video, again, I'll remind you, please subscribe, maybe like the video, leave a comment as well if you really enjoyed, like I was saying. And hit that notification bell. If you subscribed, it'll give you updates on when I upload next. And I've said this in other videos. I'll say this for the last time in this video. I will be uploading 3 to 2 times a week. My schedule is going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. If it's a 2 video schedule week, which I'll let you know in the first video, it's going to be a Monday, Friday situation, just to have you have some content over the whole week. But again, thank you for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.